Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're focusing our attention on a pretty slippery part of the internet, the whole ad reward sector.
Yeah, tricky stuff sometimes.
Definitely. So our mission today is to take the sources you've provided about this site, squads.com it's called Squadads, and really analyze its claims.
Right.
It sort of positions itself as this really easy way to earn rewards, through ad-related tasks. But here's the hook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our source material immediately flags this conflict. The site looks really professional, very slick on the surface, but a closer look shows some massive red flags.
It's important to acknowledge right off the bat just how effective that initial presentation is. Our sources really note that squads.com seems engineered for trust.
How so?
Well, it looks sleek, modern, uses this polished kind of high-end color scheme, and the homepage keeps mentioning fast login and robust account protection.
So hitting all those security notes.
Exactly. It uses the language of a secure, legitimate financial operation. That's kind of the first psychological step, to convince you it's safe.
Yeah, and that polish is incredibly convincing. You see the clean design, the security promises, and you just naturally assume, okay, this must be a proper company.
Right.
Okay, so let's unpack this illusion then. We need to move past the shiny marketing stuff and look at the actual corporate legitimacy.
Or lack thereof, maybe.
Well, yeah. What's fascinating and honestly deeply suspicious is the complete vacuum of basic corporate info.
Really? Like what?
When our sources started to, drill down, they found no About Us section. Zero company background, no contact details, and crucially, no physical address.
Wow. Nothing.
Nothing.
Yep.
In the digital world, that kind of total anonymity, that's a major, major warning sign. This site isn't just being discreet. It's basically a ghost company, operationally speaking.
Okay, so if the company itself is invisible, what about how it actually works? That was the next thing the source looked into, right? Yep. The mechanism. Exactly. And this leads to this critical ambiguity about its core function. The source material really highlights that it is completely unclear how you're supposed to get these rewards.
How they're generated or paid out.
Right. They promise rewards, but they totally fail to explain the how, the input. Are you clicking ads? Is it like a micro task thing?
Or referring friends.
Yeah.
Sharing content, that kind of thing.
Yeah, any of that. The source confirms the site offers zero explanation, no tutorial, no guidance on what you actually do beyond just signing in to start earning. So if a rewards platform can't even explain the basic how, the simple path from doing something to getting paid, it immediately raises huge questions about why it even exists.
That makes sense. And if they can't explain how you earn, or maybe how they make money, what about proof? Proof that anyone anywhere has actually gotten paid by them.
Yes, the proof of payment. That's often the most damning evidence in this online microtask world.
Because people talk, right, if they get paid.
Exactly. In the legitimate ad reward community, users are super motivated to share proof. They post on social media, forums like Reddit, business review sites. You see screenshots, testimonials.
And for squads.com.
Our source found absolute silence. Just nothing.
Yeah.
Zero credible testimonials, zero positive ratings anywhere reputable, zero mentions of anyone successfully cashing out.
So that silence isn't just neutral, it's telling.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very loud indicator that the platform is either not working as promised or simply isn't paying out at all. If it were legit, people would be talking.
Okay, so let's connect the dots here. We have no real company identity, no clear explanation of how it works, and absolutely no proof of payment.
Right.
So that brings us to the biggest risk, maybe, handing over your login credentials. What happens when you give access details to a ghost?
The risk is extremely high, yeah. The site asks for these login details without offering any accountability in return. It's textbook data harvesting, basically.
What could they do with that data?
Well, they might be collecting it for phishing attacks down the line, or maybe doing credential stuffing. Trying your username and password on other more valuable sites like your bank or email.
Because people reuse passwords.
Sadly, yes, a lot of people do. So that sleek design, it's really just camouflage. Our source concludes it's a highly questionable operation, likely designed more to collect user data than to actually distribute any rewards.
Right. So putting this all together for you, the listener, the aha moment here is really understanding that a professional look, the sleek design, the security promises, that's just not enough anymore. It doesn't equal legitimacy or transparency.
Not at all.
You always have to look past that polish and demand the basic proof of a real operation.
Absolutely. And this leaves us with Maybe a final thought for you to consider, something to chew on.
Okay.
If a reward site promises it's super easy, zero effort needed, but completely fails to explain the basic how and why of getting paid, well, what's the true product being exchanged when they demand your login details?
Good question.
Yeah, think about that value exchange. What are you giving versus what you might get before you hit that sign up button?